Average number for a guy to have?
Like 5 to 8. I think that's about
5 to
average.
8 is low. That's not
Really low.
promiscuous.
Yeah, a lot of guys, that's where they sit. Yeah.
What's up, everyone? My name's 30, and welcome to the first episode of The Third Eye, where I help you see things clearly. Now, I know the world's gone crazy, and there's a lot of blind people and woke people living these days, but what's the right path to see everything clearly? We're going to look at it from an autistic perspective.
I'm just really curious, and I want to ask like other girls here. It's like the mindset that you guys have. Is that normal here, or is that like? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, like
Okay.
in America, yeah.
Yeah.
In the Whatever podcast, they had a guest over talking about, do body counts really matter? And I think it's an important topic in modern society, obviously because of the sexual revolution. The sexual value has been monetized, and therefore most people don't really see it for what it truly is anymore. And they don't really see if there's any value in it, if there's any importance in it whatsoever. The human aspect. As people these days, sex is just as trivial as going to the restaurant and eating. It's just part of daily lives. And we also look at the two aspects from a man's side and a woman's side, whether body counts really truly matters.
Average number for a guy to have?
Like 5 to 8. I think that's about
5 to
average.
8 is low. That's not
Really low.
promiscuous.
Now, if I'd say body count is actually average, if not even lower, that's because of one thing, that is sexual value. Now, a man's sexual value is completely different to a woman's sexual value. So we look at it in terms of assets. Financially, we look at the landscape. A man's value doesn't hold much in the sexual market, whereas a woman's value, it's like a gold, whereas a man's value is just like bronze. You see it everywhere. First of all, aesthetically speaking, women are more beautiful and contain more assets sexually that is more pleasing to the eye aesthetically than men do. I mean, women have breasts, women have butts. I like big butts and I cannot lie. That within itself holds its own value, whereas men don't really have much. And most importantly, it is a woman that can give birth. That's what gives her the most valuable thing in this world. Only a woman can give birth in this world. That's why she is the pristine treasure on this life. And a man's value doesn't rely on his beauty. See, a woman is innate. As soon as she's born, she will always have that value within her. The more she grows, the more that value also grows. And it peaks around 20 to 30 when she's at her sexual prime. So that's when she's the most valuable. Now, a woman doesn't have to do anything but keep it intact. Keep that value within preserved, like an island, like a pristine Virgin Islands untouched by any tourists. Now, a man, however, has to build his own value. A man doesn't have innate value in this world. He has to build it through skills, experience, building a profession, titles, and also the accumulation of wealth. That's how a man's value is built up. Now, because that's more difficult to achieve, and they don't have it innately, you have to work for it. That really peaks around 35 to 45 or even longer, 40 to 50 really, by the time you really build that up. That's the difference between the sexual value of a man and a woman. A man is that of provision and how much he can provide and its wealth and accumulation of it. And a woman is that the preservation of its beauty and how unblemished it is by the world.
There is an objective truth about this. It's that people who have lower body counts going into marriage are much more likely to have a long and successful marriage.
It's just
Especially
fascinating
on the
that that's
woman's
so
part.
important.
Well, do you think it's
To-
important when you're going into spending the rest of your life with somebody and having them mother your children that you should be looking into these things?
Absolutely not. No, I don't mind
But what
if
if there's
my guy
empirical-
is slept with 10 or
I'm
1,000.
speaking
women.
more as a guy looking into the past of a woman.
I mean, experiences shapes us whether we like it or not. The things we did in the past, the memories that we hold from those experiences, well, they guide us, whether that be to go to the left, go to the right. These are the things that really molds our perspective of life. It's a lens that we get to see life from, whether that be good experiences, bad experiences, then it determines whether we become bitter or we become more joyous in life. So we can't deny that our experience, especially with something so intimate and special as sex, doesn't have any effect on us.
Show that women who have a higher body count are much more likely to get divorced, and so they make for bad partners. So guys need to be looking into this stuff. If you want to have a logical analysis of the person that you're about to spend your life with.
Sleeping with people does not make you any type of worse.
I mean, why most people with lower body counts has a higher chance of success in their marriage is that your past speaks for your future. What I mean by that is there are voices in your head that comes from your past. They don't just all of a sudden detach themselves. And the way you are now comes from that version, because we have multiple versions of reality in ourselves that exist. The version that slept with a lot of people compared to the version that didn't sleep with a lot of people is a completely different thing. Similarly, as a version that didn't come from trauma, let's say, and a version of you that came from trauma is a completely different person too. Like I said, we're all energies, and energy shapes one another. It's human nature. We can't experience things and not be changed by them. Every experience shapes us one way or another, whether it be consciously or subconsciously. And if you don't have that much experiences in life, that means you don't have that much trauma and bad experiences and toxicity and all those type of things. I mean, how many of us has had past relationships that no matter how hard we try to get rid of it, it's just human nature to be connected, because we're more than just bodies, we're souls, right? We're spirits, we're energies. You can lie to your body, you can numb your body, but the soul ties, they exist forever. And that's the thing that's dangerous, because you can't even see it neither. That's why it's important to identify the things that we do with our body that has adverse effects with our soul. And also, as I say, comparison is a thief of joy. So the more past experiences you have, the more you can compare it to your current partner, your husband, your wife, or whoever it may be. It's just inevitable that we compare our experiences. And that is actually the cause of a lot of rifts, past ties that just can't untangle themselves in your current relationship. And it causes more troubles. And that's where the toxicity starts to rise up. And trust issues comes up, and many different types of negative emotions that prevents the relationship from blossoming or growing into a good one.
If you sleep with 1,000 people in a year, that makes you a worse partner?
I think it actually says nothing about you.
As a matter of fact, it does.
I'd say that would make you a total whore.
A woman has great treasure in her, innately. It's her beauty. Now, that's why it's powerful, because she holds the highest sexual value in this earth. In this life, a woman will always have a greater sexual value than that of a man. Now, with great power comes great responsibility. Now, if you use that sexual power and use it to sleep with whomever you want as you please, then that shows one thing: lack of self-control, and also lack of self-worth. So by her saying that it doesn't mean anything, as a matter of fact, your past and your history speaks volumes, and action speaks louder than words. That's why you need to be careful with these things and hold yourself with great power. And also be disciplined, because you can so easily become addicted to these things.
So natural. So I don't see why it would
You think
matter.
it's natural to have sex with lots of different people?
Oh yeah, that's where we come from. So yeah.
Yeah, I know it's natural and history speaks for that. But just because it's our nature doesn't mean it's good. As a matter of fact, a lot of human nature can be quite bad. Violence leads to war. Jealousy can often lead to death. And lust can lead to a multitude of things. Adultery, cheating, betrayal, and many different things that is harmful to society and to people's lives. And in history, these are true. So we have to contain them, control them. And as a matter of fact, it's fascinating, because in the Bible, there's only one sin that you can't eradicate. It instructs you to flee from it. That means you can't escape it. It's everywhere around you. So you can't do anything to get rid of it except to look the other way and run as far as you can. And the history of sexual nature is that men will always want to have more and more and more to please their sexual appetite. But does it mean it's good? No. As a matter of fact, that's why the holy matrimony or marriage was created. That's because it's dangerous to society to have multiple wives, because of the nature of women being hypergamous, meaning they want to find the best man. That means the dispersion of love, so to speak, within society, men and women alike. It's unjust, it's unequal, it's unfair, because only the top guys get the best woman. And if there's only a few men within that society, then other men don't have a chance at love. They don't have a chance of getting the woman they like, because men in higher ranks that holds higher titles will always have them first. That's why it's equality for all. And a monogamous relationship is actually there to create equality for all, rather than inequality through polygamous relationships.
Wait, so do you think body count doesn't matter?
Absolutely not. Does not matter at all.
What's your body count?
I don't know. I'd say 50 if I have to guess.
And look, I ain't no one to judge, and we can never judge. And I don't like judging neither, because like I always say, if I ain't got the power to sentence, then why waste time judging? So look, she says she's got 50 plus body counts, that's on her. But you also have to ask yourself this thing. You let 50 people have access to your soul, your body, at your most intimate level, the closest thing that you can offer. 50 men. I haven't found 50 good people in my whole lifetime. That means the quality of men that you're giving access to yourself and you're handing your most intimate parts to are highly unlikely to be the good men. Meaning, these are the narcissistic, lying, conniving scoundrels of society. And those people are thieves. They will steal from you more than they can give from you. They have nothing to offer you. That's why they take from you. And these are the type of people you let in. And once you let them in, they will steal everything away from you. And that's how people can become emotionally unavailable because of the past experiences from the people that they've mingled with. Like I said, we're all souls. If you keep giving yourself access to negative energies, it doesn't matter how positive you are. Eventually, you're going to be sapped out of that positivity and you're just going to be as empty and shallow as they are. Give yourself a chance to have great quality men and meet quality people. And you're not going to be able to do that if you're having sexual relationships with 100 people a year. So as women, you need to learn and pick them wisely. Don't just let some drunk guy at a club who bought you drink access to you. I mean, come on now. You're worth more than that. As a matter of fact, back in the olden days, in order for men to have access to a woman, you're going to have to give them everything, propose to them, give them a house, give them something, just to have access to a woman. Now, because of the dating scene, in the club scene, in modern relationships, anyone can really have access at you just with a swipe on Tinder. Now, for women's rights, you have to ask yourself, did the woman become more valuable or less valuable because of this? Now, to finish off this video, for the last point I'd like to show you is that sex is sacred. That's because sex is the most intimate form of love and connection you can offer to your partner. That goes to your deepest core. You can offer them your hand, you can offer them food, you can offer them drink, but to offer them access to the most intimate part of you, that should really just be saved for the VIPs, the one that you truly love, because only they will truly care for you. Now, if you offer your love freely to random people that doesn't even deserve your time and effort, then when it comes to the moment where you found someone special and you want to share your most intimate, deeper connection with them, it becomes less valuable because it's been thrown away before. It's already been accessed by others that didn't have as much value. As a human experience, it's already been experienced before. You lose that magic. It's like this. It's like when you go to a restaurant, you order your main meal. But before that, you ate so much appetizers, starters, and many different food before you get to your main meal, that your taste bud has already been filled with so many different flavors that when you get to the main meal, it doesn't taste as good. Whereas if you don't eat anything beforehand, when you get to your main meal, ooh la la, muy delicioso. And that's how love should feel. Love should be something so powerful. It's when you experience that, it should be something that's like, wow. It shouldn't just be like, meh. You don't want to live a numb life. You don't want to live and experience the special things in life as if they weren't special. So don't steal that from yourself. Keep the good things in life special so that when you have them, you can truly enjoy them. Don't spoil your experiences in life just because you can't control yourself. To you, all the women and all the men out there, hopefully this helps you. And this isn't to judge you. If you have a high body count, don't worry about it. You can always change yourself and you can always be better. Don't be so hard on yourself. Look, the world is always going to be terrible and always going to be judgmental. Don't let that bother you. You'll always be great in God's eyes. Now, the world can scorn you. It can judge you. They can do whatever they want. But God always wants the best for you. And as God intended you to, love deeply and love fully. But you can only do that if you preserve that love and keep it special. So keep the good things in life sacred, protect it. So when you finally experience it, it'll be powerful. All right, that's the first episode of The Third Eye. Hope you like this video, guys. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And stay tuned for many more.